Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here, welcome to another video. Guess what I've been doing the last couple of days? Those original 5 Undergravel filters I put together have pretty much already been used up. One's going to be in a giveaway, and I'll announce the winner at the end of this video. And then immediately, pretty much after building them, I used 2 of them for the Daphne project. And then I suspect the remaining 2 are also going to use in that project because, well, there are 4 tanks over there. Undergravel filters are really good for culturing. Mostly because they supply a really nice stable environment, but also because, well, those tanks are pretty much pea soup right now. Undergravel filters don't require much in the way of maintenance, so I won't have to pull them out to see what's going on, if they need it cleaned or whatever. Pretty much short term, which could be years, I won't have to worry about them. And then the last reason, of course, is they're not very good at mechanical filtration, so I won't have to worry about them filtering out the Daphne, Cyclopses, and all the other microorganisms that are going to be in there. So I think they're going to be pretty much ideal for this. Which left me with exactly 0 Undergravel filters. And I still need to set up the new section for the recycled rack. And I want to do 5 tanks to start off with. So in the upper left you can see I built 4 more standard ones. And I am currently building the 5th one. And it is not going to be standard. It is going to be 12 inches deep. And one of the problems when you start trying to glue up longer lengths of acrylic is, you can see what I'm doing here right now, is that the fact is it bends. And it's very difficult to have a 12-inch piece of acrylic or longer that is actually straight. So what I do is I match up one corner, and then with methylene chloride I just put a little spot there just to hold it in place. And because it cures and sets so fast, it's actually doesn't take that long to do this. So once that sets, I straighten out the next little bit, glue, straighten, glue, straighten, glue, and eventually get all the way to the other end and have a nice straight seam, which is well, beneficial and also much more aesthetically pleasing than having a wonky curve in it. Now, when you do this sort of thing, you do put a little bit of strain on the actual sheet itself. So you'll notice as this progresses, I'll end up with deflections here and there, and you have to keep an eye throughout the whole glue up. So it's not over once you have one straightened up like this. Now, the reason why I'm gluing up 12 inches is I was originally, I did the 2 inches, which are all those, which are great. And then I did the 4-inch one, which is doing really, really well. And then I said next I was going to build an 8-inch deep one. And then I suspected at that point I was just going to eventually get to a 12 as well. But I don't want to end up having all these projects. Oh, by the way, here comes the boss. I don't want all these projects, all these tanks to be taken up with Undergravel filters. I do have other things I want to do. So I decided to go straight to 12. Those tanks at the top row are 16 inches, so 12 inches is pretty much my max for an Undergravel filter for this. So I want to get that. I'm going to go straight to that, and we'll see how well this does. If it turns out to be too much gravel and it's not working out, I can always reduce the volume in it to 8 and see how that does. And, it's much easier to go full and then back off from that later on. Now, one of the things I'm not going to do in this build is I'm not going to actually finish it. There's a number of reasons for that. The first one, the most important one, is I want your guys' input on this. I've been building an awful lot of these Undergravel filters with high humidity planter filters on top. And that is actually really cool. I really like them. But I have a bit of a dilemma here in the sense that those high humidity planter filters on the top actually supply a really good amount of stability for an aquarium. And if I'm going to actually test this filter out as whether or not it's good on its own, that may not be the best thing for the experiment. So I'm going to leave that guy up to you guys. Just let me know in the comments below whether you want this just to be a straight Undergravel filter with no other augments, or you want to see it as an additional planter filter set up with a high humidity aspect to it. The other reason is we're going on a bit of a family holiday, a road trip actually. We're going up to the northern end of Lake Superior, which is actually quite a ways from here. For those of you not familiar with Ontario, it is a really big province. The northern end of Lake Superior is about a 13-hour drive from here, but it's absolutely gorgeous country. There's all sorts of beautiful scenery and everything. And also, it actually is a really great source for hardscape for aquariums. I'm going to be picking up driftwood and rocks and things along those lines. I'll definitely record aspects of the trip while I'm up there, and probably in a video when I get back. And also I'll be showing you some of the hardscape. I have a couple clients who are actually really interested in me finding some really unique driftwood pieces, so it should be interesting when I get back, and I'll show you all that. But because I'm going to be away for pretty much a week, and that's coming up next week, it's going to be pretty much put a 2-week delay in me setting up the next section for the recycled rack. I don't want to start any new aquariums when I'm going to be away, so that's going to be postponed until I get back, which will probably be by the time I get everything all straightened out again, around the second week of August. So, sorry about that delay, but unfortunately these things do come up, and it's pretty much the only style of holiday that's available to me at the moment, because there is really nowhere else to go, and everything is not really shut down anymore, but there's still lots of restrictions on travel and everything. So this filter here will be in one of those tanks. So as I said earlier, it is not going to be completed today, but I'll get it as far as I can, like the parts that really don't matter as far as its function and that sort of stuff. I'll get all that together, and then we'll leave the rest of it until I get back. Now the other thing that probably will happen because I'll be away is I won't be able to get all my regular videos up. I will do my best to pre-record them and have them scheduled to go up. But most likely, the way things are going, I will end up missing at least 1 or maybe 2 during that time. My apologies. So this is the 2 inches, which is now 12 inches, and that is all going to be filled with gravel. And this is going to be the plate on the bottom. Now, because there's an awful lot more weight on this, I am going to put more reinforcing on it, and also I'm going to a greater gap. As you can see that this is usually how thick I put the gap, which is 1/4 inch. I'm going up to, I think it's 3/8. I didn't really measure it. I just took a piece of offcut and one that was roughly the size I wanted. It was just slightly over 1/2 inch, and then I just cut the rest into that size. So this is going to give me enough space under there to allow flow, because we're going to have 15-inch lift stacks on this. So there's going to be an awful lot of flow going through this, which is good because that'll prevent any kind of mold buildup on the bottom, I hope. And also because there's a lot more biomedia, it'll also supply lots of nice flow through that, and it should work really quite well. But then again, these are just things I think. We will see how this does long term, like all the other filters, and it's going to be an interesting project. Now, before I get too close to the end of this, I do want to announce the winner for the giveaway. What I did is I took note of all the people who said they're interested in paying for the postage. Then I generated a random number and then counted down until I got to them. And the winner is Jerome M. I will leave that on the video here once I get to the point where I'm doing that part of the recording. And I'll leave my email. Jerome, get a hold of me, and we'll figure out all the details for this. Hopefully I'll get to that and have that done before I go away. So congratulations, and definitely thank you very much for everybody who's interested. I've had over 40 people who are interested in builds, and trust me, there's going to be a lot of them coming up, and I am going to, wherever I can, include an extra one, and then we'll do more of these. It's the kind of giveaway that I can actually afford to do these days. I'd like to do more, but unfortunately, like I said, with all the silliness in the world at the moment, money is a little tight, and postage is the most expensive aspect of this, and so this works out really, really well. So be patient. Hopefully we'll get to doing a lot more of these. And which reminds me, if you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe. Always leave lots of comments. Let me know what you think, especially on this build. I want to know whether you think it should be just an undergravel filter, even though it's a massive box of an undergravel filter. It's still an undergravel filter. Or you want a planter filter on top of this. So definitely let me know about that. So this is pretty much ready to go. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. This is it sitting beside the regular size. So this is going to be one massive undergravel filter, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this works. There's a stack of 5 of them off to the right there, and it doesn't even come up to the top of this. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a mix of gravel and lava rock and, well, lots and lots of microorganisms. So it should be a really nice, stable environment for the tank, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.